Good day and welcome. Of course, thank you for tuning in to Bright Books Club TV. We're always highlighting stories, impactful stories, and talking about all things that we need to know about in regards to various topics. Of course, if you've tuned in, then you know we're all about informing you on what you need to know. Of course, we've been highlighting authors and talking about various ways in which we can keep our youth engaged and keep people engaged to life in general, the fruit of life. I mean, we're all dealing with so many different things, and sometimes we just don't have the answers. So, anyway, today I felt like it was important to bring Chaplain Martha Brown to the Bright Books Club, of course, to talk about, how to communicate with people and why communication is so important. Of course, she's the CEO of I Plan for Marriage. So, without further ado, I am going to ask you to give a round of applause for Sister Martha. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a little warm, but I'm making it.
Yes, no
It's a
doubt
great
for
day.
sure. Oh yeah, for sure. I think we were just cutting up a few moments ago about, you being hot and, ready to get some air conditioning. I think we're all feeling that across the country today.
Yes, yes, we are.
For sure. So I plan for marriage, of course. I've been seeing this all over social media. So I felt like this was something that people need to know about. We all are from different backgrounds and we don't have all the answers or don't know the way to communicate with everybody. But taking a moment to learn and listen to what people have to say, we might find out a few things. And so here you are, our plan for marriage. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, great. Thank you again, Portia, for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon to have me on your show. I really appreciate this. I Plan for Marriage came out of my own, I guess you say, personal pain. I am divorced. I married very young. And I realized after I divorced that there were so many things that I did not know going into that process. And so, out of my own personal pain, I have moved towards helping other people go into a relationship, go into marriage with a more open mindedness and maybe more open eyes. And communication was one of the central issues that I and my my former husband we had. We whenever you get married, I didn't realize this at the time, is that it's not just two people marrying, but it's actually two households marrying. So you're not just marrying that person, you're marrying that person and everything that shaped them, their families, their
Oh
friends,
my
their
God, that
region.
is such an impactful.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that. So I didn't know how to
That was
ask
such
certain
an
questions.
impactful perspective.
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize how to, I guess you can say, ask certain questions. Didn't know how to engage, and at the age I was 21. I was freshly, newly graduated from East Carolina University, and had just pretty much left my mother's house and went into a home with my husband, and so I really didn't even know myself. So there was a lack of self-awareness, and so I wasn't even other aware either. So we lasted for 12 years, and then I divorced.
Mm. Now, Sister Martha, that is such an impactful perspective. A lot of times people, go into divorce and they're just like, the first spat that they go through, they're just like, I'm done with it. What advice would you offer them if they're thinking about, hey, how do I get my spouse to better communicate with me?
Wow. So it has to be done with some intentionality. I think most of us go into relationships, whether they're marital relationships, friendships, relationships on our jobs, thinking that it's the other person. It's nothing wrong with me. I know how to communicate. There's no issue with me. It's the other person. What one learns in the courses that I teach is to look inside oneself first. So I think the thing about it is rather than looking at one's spouse and saying, oh, how do I get that person to communicate? It may be first looking at oneself and saying, how am I communicating? And am I communicating in a way that I am relaying the type of message and receiving the type of message from my spouse or significant other?
I love that. Now, speaking of the courses that you're actually teaching, tell us a little bit more. Like, what environments are you teaching these courses in? Are you willing to go to churches? Are you going to schools? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so that's a great question. So right now I'm teaching some courses through the community college, through Pitt Community College and through Wayne Community College. I'm teaching the individual communication course. And that course is called Core Communication. And I have the workbook, and it's a workbook that comes with that. I don't know if your audience can see that or not, but it's a workbook. And it is a
Hmm.
6-week course. We meet 2 hours for 6 weeks. And during that time, you are giving skills in talking and in listening, so that one is better able to relay the message, the information that you are hoping to share. Because sometimes it's not so much what is said, but how it is said. And that's what we focus on. We focus on the process, not the outcome, not the content, but the actual
Mm.
process. How it is said, so that you begin to increase your skills in how you communicate, not only to others, but even how you communicate to yourself.
Now that is a powerful one. That is one that we do not talk about as much. How you talk to yourself is very important at the end of the day, because you're showing up to the world. So you have to be your best self when you show up, because you just never know who you're going to be able to assist or help out of their situation that they're going through. But before you can help someone else, you have to be able to talk that power and manifest great things for yourself as well. Sister Martha, tell us a little bit about what is it like to really actually, I mean, not just plan the wedding, but also go into a stage of where you're looking at some of the things that you're going to experience outside of marriage. As you mentioned, there's a process. So tell us a little bit more about that. Just elaborate.
Okay, so the couples communication course, which I also teach, I teach that in collaboration with a therapist. I work with a therapist out of New Bern, and I actually teach the course in collaboration with her practice. And the next course I'll be offering will be in February. So what I'm hoping to do again is empower a couple with the tools, because they're going to face conflict. They're going to have to address problems. They're going to
Mm.
have to consider issues depending upon what age and stage you're getting married in life. Things like, when are we going to start a family? How do we take care of aging parents? Uh,
Mm.
I've got a job, and it's going to transfer me to another area, or either I've lost a job, or either we are a 2-car household and one car is broken down, and we've got children that we have to get to certain activities, and we have jobs that we have to get to. How are we going to navigate that? So what you learn in these courses is the skills in order to navigate that relationship. What you learn in the course, should you take it prior to the relationship, is determining, is this the best person, or is this the person that I am willing to make a lifelong commitment to? In some
Mm.
instances, if that information was readily available to some persons, they may have decided that, you know what, maybe we're just better as friends. Maybe we were just supposed to be connected for this amount of the journey in life, and not to engage in this covenant relationship. Because we say the vows, and everybody hopes for better, they hope for health, they hope for richer, but no one asks, how poor are we planning on being? Or how sick do you plan on being? Or how worse is it going to get? Because there is going to be times in that relationship where you are going to experience the other side of that vow. And so, have you planned for that? And it could be even on the other side of the vow. How rich are we planning on getting? How healthy do we plan on being? How better does one plan on being in the relationship? So having those conversations, having those discussions, asking questions, engaging, and again, this is not a magic solution. So there are going to be things that you are not going to be aware of when you even in engaging in this way. but
Mm-hmm.
you will have skills that when you are in the relationship that you'll be able to use in order to address problems and issues and conflicts as they arise, because they are going to come.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Nobody's perfect. Now, Sister
Mhm.
Martha, of course, the seasons are changing, and this time of the year we usually get us a little cuddle buddy. Tell us for the people out there who are going to get those cuddle buddies, how they can actually, make sure they're cuddling with the right person and processing those and opening those lines of communication.
Oh wow! So that's a that's an interesting question. So I imagine that sense of self awareness. What is it that you're looking for in a relationship? Are we talking about someone to get us through a certain season? Are we speaking about someone that we're hoping that it's going to be a lifelong relationship? So I think that one first has to ask oneself, what is it that they are looking for in a potential relationship? And that's even in friendships. It doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
be always romantic relationships. That's even in jobs. Oftentimes I've heard people say about jobs, well, they're only here for the money. And I tell people, everybody is only here for the money, because if not, you're a volunteer. The only people that are not on a job for money are the ones who are volunteering.
Right.
Everybody else is on the job for the money. And so it's a matter of, do we have the same mission, vision, and values? So looking at an
Mm-hmm.
organization's mission, vision, and values, looking at a friend's mission and vision and values, looking at a potential mate, a significant other, that person's mission and vision and values, and see if they are in alignment with your mission and vision and values. I think sometimes where any of us get in trouble is because we've not done the amount of intentional work on ourselves, and we want
Mm.
someone else to complete us when it is for us to find completion within ourselves. And within, of course, I'm a Christian minister, so for me, it's completion in God. For someone
Yeah.
else, it might be completion in some other source, but for me, it would be completion in God. So I think first being very intentional in that way, and then I can
Mm.
determine. It takes two whole people to have a whole relationship,
Yes, it
whatever that
does. You got to
relationship
show
is.
up. Both of you have to show up to have a relationship for sure.
Right.
Now, Sister Martha, of course, we talked about the cuddle buddy season, but what about those people who are, in between trying to find their self and trying to find whether, this is their season of dating? Like, how does someone who has experienced trauma find a sense of, now I feel like I'm ready? Like, how do you get to that point from trauma to feeling like I'm ready?
Wow, that's a pretty heavy question. I think that would have to be something that would need to be explored probably with a therapist, because it's outside of my, scope and
Oh,
my knowledge set. I'm just,
right.
offering some
I
skills
love that.
so that you can be more aware. I try to stay in my lane and not, go too much beyond that. So I think one would have to seek out therapy, and I'm a big proponent of therapy. I go every month. There's no way that one could do the type of work that I've done for almost 30 years. First as a social worker, now as a chaplain. Some of the things I've seen, and some of the ways I've had to show up for people, to be with them during their crises, during their significant losses and pain. um, I've had to work on having capacity to be present in a way that I show up that is supportive and not anxious and not advice giving and not judgmental. And so it's kind of like the story
Mm,
about the
yes.
person who has the axe. You have to go and sharpen that tool from time to time if you're going to be successful in doing your work. And so for me, I'm all about therapy. I've been in and out of therapy probably for 30 years. And in some instances, I have periods of time where I go regularly, like maybe once a month. And then sometimes there may be times where it's a little bit where I'm going like maybe every 2 or 3 months, just kind of checking in. So no different in your physical health. Some instances we go to the doctor because it's our time for our annual um, exam. And if the doctor tells us that he or she sees something that needs to be addressed, then we have follow-up appointments to make sure our physical health is on point. And so I think the same thing when it comes to our mental health. It's okay it's healthy to get help.
Right.
In fact, that's this year's Spiritual Care Week theme. Chaplaincy and mental health. It's healthy to get help. And so I believe that it's healthy to ask for assistance.
Right. Okay. So when people take this course, there's actually going to be a book that people can actually pick up that goes along with your course, correct?
Yes, there's a workbook. There's also, we do kinesthetic type of learning. So we use mats, and I'll show one of them here. We use these mats. I don't know that it can be seen, but anyway, we use these mats, and they're floor mats, and we actually walk out our listening skills, our talking skills, as well as our listening skills. And you begin to incorporate that in how you engage. For instance, you learn the 4 styles of talking and listening. And I've been doing some of those sort of overviews at some of the local churches here, just exposing them to the 4 styles of talking. And it was interesting. Yesterday, I was with a group of people, and I heard someone say something very sarcastic, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so they're talking to me spitefully." And I had a choice that I could make. At that time, do I want to address it then? Do I want to address it later, or do I want to ignore it? So you just become more aware of what's going on, how you're talking to others, and how other people are talking to you. And in that instance, a person may, in spite talk tends to be passive aggressive, and a person may say, "Well, oh, I'm gonna, just address that." For me, having taken the course and teaching the course, what it says is, okay, so what's going on? There's a conflict, obviously, that this person has with me that they don't know how to express any other way. And so how do I want to address that with them?
Nice. So where can people follow you at? Tell us how to stay connected.
Okay, so I have a website. I planned the number 4 marriage.com. There should be a listing of all the courses and the events that I'm going to be involved in. There's an events page. There's also a Facebook page, and there's an Instagram page. My Facebook page, there's some information there. I'm hoping to build out another page because I want to separate the business and the individual courses from the marriage courses that I'm teaching.
Awesome. Sister Martha, we got people shouting you out. We got Rashonda Blackman. She said, yes. Laquita Carmen said, great information. Robin Swindell said, yes, it's healthy to get help. Twin Swin says, I agree. Therapy is helpful. So people are receiving this gift that you have. Of course, I'm encouraging all my viewers, please go out and visit iplanformarriage.com to get connected with Chaplain Brown. Of course, you can visit her on all social media outlets at I Planned the number 4 marriage, of course. She's someone you want to stay connected with, of course. I have fell in love with her. And of course, I try to stay connected with people who are going to help uplift me and help encourage me through life, because we can't do it alone. We weren't meant to do life alone. And so I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. We're looking forward to you going to go sign up. Tell people where they can go sign up at the community college if they're in the area.
Okay, so they can go to Pitt Community College. The course is Core Communication at Pitt Community College. And also I'll be teaching at Wayne Community College. And that's also Core Communication. And that would be at Wayne Community College. And that's in Goldsboro. So either one of those groups, you can reach out and find out more information.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, of course. We will definitely stay connected with you, of course. I'm encouraging everybody, follow Sister Martha on all those social media outlets as you see displayed on your screen. Of course, we hope to see you back real soon, talking about how some of these people who took the communications class might be jumping the broom a little bit happier and prepared. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.
Thank you, Portia.
She is such a breath of fresh air, great people. You know, we're all making decisions for our right now and for our future. So it's always important to make sure that we're prepared and in a space that we can receive those things in great health and our minds are in the right place and just being in a better space overall. I thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I'm encouraging you to head on over to Bright Books Club on all social media outlets and of course on YouTube at Bright Books Club TV to continue to stay connected to what we're doing here. I appreciate you, and I hopefully I'll see you real soon. And of course, pick up some books, great people. Head on over to brightbooks.org. That's brightbooks.org to pick up all our new releases and find some really great deals, including airfares and Ashley Stewart. I mean, it's oh crazy over there. Coupons out the hoop bar. Check them out, Bright Books Club. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.